Everybody ready? Pretty good.
Yes.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
2, 1.
Blast off. Got a blast.
Look at that face.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is the PC Muscle Race himself, probably for the last time in this location, LeRon Dawkins.
Yep. Hello, everybody. How's it going?
You ready for that move, LeRon? You ready for it?
I'm freaking exhausted. I've been doing just. I have not taken any time off from work, so like I'm juggling work and moving, packing and moving stuff, and shoot, we don't get the freaking U-Haul until Monday.
That sucks.
Yeah, like Monday is like the last day. Well, the last day technically I'll be here at this place. So next time I am streaming, it probably will be from the new place.
Cool. Also joining us is the mad pharmacist Stephanie Klimov.
Woohoo! I finished wrapping my last present today.
Yeah, you also chugged a Rockstar before we started recording.
All the more entertainment for y'all.
Oh, boy. Also joining us all the way from that PlayStation podcast, Crossroads, the PlayStation Doctor himself, Austin Campbell.
I'm glad you said PlayStation podcast. I thought you were going to say where I actually live, and I'm more embarrassed of that particular
I would
topic.
never embarrass you that bad. I saved that embarrassment for LeRon.
Yeah, for real. For real, like I just aired out all my financial troubles on stream just now, and problematic Corey.
I told you we were going live. Okay.
He had no wherewithal to say, hey, you're talking about personal stuff on the internet.
Okay.
I'm proud of Stephanie for being able to finish her wrapping, whereas I have not started. And I gave my wife one of her presents early, like a month ago, and I didn't even wrap it. I was like, here's the box that it was delivered in. Take it.
To be fair,
You just tossed it to her.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I didn't toss it to her because it's too expensive for that. But
to be fair, I told my wife wanted a smartwatch, and I told her just to buy it herself. That was
Whoa!
that was the big gift for Hanukkah. So I felt kind of bad, but also like I would be the same way. So like, you know, if you want to buy something big for me, then
you buy her the watch, you pull it out of the packaging for her, you get it set up, you write from Corey on the band in big Sharpie where you can't get it off.
Yeah,
I mean, just like from you.
Yeah, I just didn't do any of that. So, yeah, Christmas time, everybody.
All right, who's on their Switch? I hear it.
Who do you think it is? Who do you? Out of all four of us, who do you think it is?
Yeah.
What you playing, Stephanie?
Oh, I'm not playing it. I'm pulling it up so I can speak to it when I talk about the games that I'm playing.
We already did naughty games for the last After Dark. Okay.
Yes, but I'll up with it to show my consistency.
Oh, she's actually been playing them now. So.
No.
What's funnier is LeRon pulls his Switch out on Crossroads more than anyone I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Usually when he's complaining about Nintendo, but he still brings it up. He still brings it out.
Hey! I already said I have fundamental problems with the company and their decision making process.
Here we
more
go.
than I have problems with their games. I mean, the only Nintendo games I have problems with is anything starring Yoshi and Mario Kart and Mario Party.
My God. Just
Mario Party. That was a time.
Oh, something about that
time.
Mario Party. That like 3.5 hour game.
It's a fun time for the
Oh, yeah, I had a
first
3.5
2
hour
hours.
stream. Yeah, a 3.5 hour stream the other night.
Yeah, because Corey thought, hey, 30
Hey,
was it 30 turns?
it
was
said-
only gonna be 90 minutes.
It said 90 minutes, approximate playtime, 90 minutes. Okay, they didn't say 90 times 3. Okay, so
Which would have been more accurate.
yeah.
fair.
Okay,
We
so
were up
when's-
to like 1 o'clock. My son was passed out next to me.
I know I was crying like inside. About it turned like 20. I was like, oh my god, just make this end.
And we were
Don't
constantly
worry,
quoting SpongeBob.
That's right.
it's all right.
Which I
It'll-
quoted to my wife before I got on here. When we
It'll-
were quoting SpongeBob, I was like, I can't do this again.
It'll be up on our YouTube channel at the beginning of the year, I think. So yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see these shenanigans.
Oh man.
Aw,
Just
yeah.
wait till we get to the tank game and how all we did was talk about how long the shafts were and that it was shooting
the shafts.
the shafts
Did you
on the
have
tank.
to say it like that?
Yeah,
you have
man.
to say it like that.
Yeah, and then Stephanie asked if blue balls were a real thing, and then they're like her and Austin had a conversation about blue balls. So this is what you get for Mario Party at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Mario
Apparently.
Party After Dark.
Also, I don't think any of us were drinking either. So I mean, these are all genuine conversations.
No. Probably could have been more fun had we drank. I don't know. Could have been.
I probably would have fallen asleep.
Oh, God.
Are you a sleepy drunk?
Nowadays, I am. Post-child, I'm a sleepy drunk. Pre-child, I was like how I am on Rockstar, just all giggly and
Oh.
make no sense.
That's just
I'm the,
normal now.
I'm the mix between the has to dance / touchy feely drunk, but not like sexually harassing touchy feely. If that makes any sense.
Platonic touchy-feely.
Exactly. It's like I'm a hugger. Like arm goes around the shoulder, stuff like that.
Yeah, you're like a everyone's BFF when you drink.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, and I also get loud and I curse a lot more.
Well, now I understand that LeRon's hugging me was just platonic. Let's move on.
What? Never mind. All right, we're gonna move on.
Hey, I waited until Katie was gone. I waited, like shoot.
But it was just platonic. It's just a regular hug. Like I'm just your buddy, your pal. That's all we podcast with.
Uh-oh, I think Austin's breaking down.
I know. The little tickle at the end didn't feel great either. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's got awkward real fast.
Anyway.
Yeah, Mario Party was fun. There was something else I wanted to say too beforehand, but we'll get to it later, I guess. So.
Housekeeping?
Yeah. Hold on, I gotta pull up the Discord now because I wrote it
Housekeeping?
there. Housekeeping with me fluff
yeah,
pillow.
Yeah, you should make a clip of that. Just insert it every time you do housekeeping.
Yeah.
You might get sued. But it'd be all right. It'd be worth it.
That's not entirely true. As long as the clip is under 12 seconds.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, that's definitely under 12.
Yeah.
Let's see. Boss Rush Podcast. Show notes. Just fill in time. Singing a song. Here we go. Wait. Okay. I found it, everybody. We're good.
Thank the Lord.
This is the Boss Rush Podcast, a flagship show of the Boss Rush Network, where each and every week we get together with our friends from around the internet to talk about video games, gaming culture, and everything we love about it. You can catch us live on twitch.tv/Boss Rush Network every Wednesday right here. Wow, I messed that up real bad. It's okay. It's all right. Every Wednesday at 8:30
That's fine.
p.m. Eastern, 7:30 Central, or on Mondays on YouTube, podcast services, and our website. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Remember, you can find all of our content on bossrush.net. Quick reminder that the store is now open and you can get all of your merch, including shirts, mugs, stickers, hoodies, and more. New logos include Snacktendo, Talk the Walk, and Sick, as well as our podcast logos. Head on over to redbubble.com/BossRushNetwork or click on the store tab on our website. The link is also in the show notes. Also, one last thing on iTunes. I have created the Boss Rush Network channel, so all you have to do is search for Boss Rush Network, and it'll bring up a nice little banner that says Boss Rush Network and has all of our shows listed underneath, except for Crossroads, because I don't have the RSS feed for it, but it'll be there.
Sure, that's why.
Yeah, because I don't remember the password, and LeRon and I searched the other night for like 20 minutes for this password, and he ended up finding it.
I'll give you the password.
It's okay.
Just slide in the DMs later. I'll give you the password.
We know we're shadow banned.
Well,
we're shadow banned.
It's gonna get real slippery. LeRon's like, it's got to be quick though. I gotta pack.
We're like indie games on the PS5. You can't find us on the network.
You can't even find the big games on the network.
Yeah, like Austin, you know what I'm about to say. Like, what is up with the fact that like everything's like add to wish list, even if it's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah, add to wish list.
Yeah,
add to wish
it's
list.
like there's no price on the.
Let me tell you, my wish list is completely full on the PlayStation, and I have to delete and add games all the time.
Wait. The wish list has a cap.
Yeah. So does your friends list.
50, 100 games, somewhere in there, somewhere in that area.
Oh, speaking of caps, like I tried to recently I went on a friend request spree on the on Nintendo for the Switch, right? And there's a cap for that.
Yeah. Stop adding so many friends.
What?
LeRon.
Why?
What's the cap?
I don't know.
No, the request limit. There's a cap on a request limit.
Oh.
So,
prevent spamming or something?
Yeah.
It's not a
It's
not a spam though. It's not a spam though. I want to say I legit tried to add like 4 people.
That's spamming to Nintendo, dude. Slow down.
Yeah.
You're eating their
They
network
know Nintendo
bandwidth.
People don't
okay?
have that many friends.
You're eating their network bandwidth. You need to slow down. Oh my gosh, dude. Mario Party got so laggy. We were playing online. Oh my gosh, it was so bad.
Oh, yeah.
The minecart level, oh my god.
Any timing game was like terrible.
By
the way, how did we tie on that game? That still
I don't know.
is crazy.
I think it's just because we both fell off. I don't think it really had anything to do with anything else. Speaking of what we've been playing, Austin, you are our esteemed guest. What have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Well, I'm going to save one of them for later because it's on my my list, and LeRon possibly knows what I'm talking about because it's a game I recently finished. So it's going to be on my list, and I'll say that for later. However, I started Guardians of the Galaxy right before I got on, and let me tell you, the Flock of Seagulls song was on there, and I was in. I was like, wow, this is all right. Let's go. And I haven't got too far. I'm still on that first trip, I guess, that you go on where you and Rocket and Groot are just chilling, doing your thing, going to that.
Like the quarantine zone?
Yeah. I didn't get very far. Maybe not even an hour into it. So I don't have too much to say just because I haven't really dove into it yet. But I'm looking forward to it. Played Call of Duty Vanguard, the Christmas stuff, which I hate. I absolutely hate. It's terrible. It makes me so mad. I wanted just to get it. I finished all the objectives to get all the Christmas loot for this event. But as soon as I did it, I was like, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this no more. Because let me tell you, they make you play a lot of Shipment, which if you don't know is a very small map that's been on Call of Duty games for a while now. And it's a really small map. It's really hectic. But what's worse is they've hidden these loud, annoying elves in the maps for you to shoot and find and shoot, and then you collect them. You're supposed to do these for objectives. Well, I had long past the objective, but they cackle so loud. And in shipment, you don't really have time to look around for elves because you're getting creamed by bullets from everywhere else. And so it just and the elves are actually like well hidden. They're not like really big out in the open kind of things. They're like straight up just in these little corners, and it's so annoying. You can't hear any footsteps. You can't hear where people are. Plus they added Krampus to the whole thing. So Krampus randomly just comes and kills you. Like he'll just start attacking people on the map. And I'm like,
Nice.
oh, this is so much lag. It straight up like messed up my PS5. Like it was so much. It was bad. It's terrible. I hated it. So as soon as I did all those objectives, I'm like, I'm going out to play a better multiplayer game.
Which is
And
what?
Let me tell you, Corey. Let me tell you.
I know what
This
it
is
is.
not. It's not better than Modern Warfare. Okay,
Yes, it is.
it's not.
It is.
But
It's okay. You can admit it. It's okay.
it is the best multiplayer game this year. I'm willing to give it that. It's Halo Infinite. Now, I also have a lot of problems with Halo Infinite, but I am enjoying my time. I'm playing a lot of Fiesta mode, playing a lot of big team battle mode. Not a huge fan of the 4v4, but it is what it is.
See, that's all I play is the 4v4.
It's 4v4.
I've been playing a lot
Yeah.
of SWAT, aka Tactical Slayer, because they took the word SWAT out because of well, a lot of people think it's because of it's that word's connection to police, but
Wow.
yeah.
Or it could be because Miles Chung swatted that one dude that one time. Remember that?
Maybe that too.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could have been people getting swatted at different houses.
Yeah, maybe that's right too. But anyways, Tactical Slayer is
Yeah.
the mode. No radar, like a quarter health, only battle rifles. If you don't get that headshot, you're dead.
I actually might want to play this then because I love hardcore mode. That's what I play on Call of Duty, and low health is all about. Because let me tell you, I'm great at shooting first. I'm not great at holding.
Let me tell you,
up.
I'm usually the person behind the teammates, and then when they go down, I see where the shot came from, and then I just shoot the guy that shot them because they're usually already partially.
Can you team kill
Yeah, but
on Tactical Slayer?
okay. You know, I just am hiding most of the time.
Oh. See, that's what I also like. I just like the idea of you got to be careful. You can't just keep firing bullets everywhere.
Oh yeah, you definitely have to be careful. And like the thing that happens in Tactical Slayer that doesn't happen in any other game modes is when you zoom in on the battle rifle, there's a flare on the scopes. So like when you can see when the other team is zooming in, and you can see right where they're at, which is really cool.
Ooh.
So I really try not to zoom in.
I'm having a blast. I'm telling you. I didn't care for Halo multiplayer in the past. I think you said that it's most likely like Halo 3 is what you're getting, which I did not play. I played Reach and 5, and I didn't care for either one.
I liked Halo 5.
Mainly because all my friends wanted to do was ride four-wheelers on Reach for whatever reason.
Yeah, I liked the jetpacks on Reach, but I didn't play a lot of Reach. But 5, I liked 5. It just didn't feel like the movement didn't really feel like Halo. I do, however, miss the in 5. You know how if you press B, you got that little burst, like that little boost. I miss that. But anyways, continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over your conversation. Halo is great though.
No. I'm enjoying it. I still get kicked out of servers all the time, and sound cuts in and out. But so is Call of Duty Vanguard right now, even worse. So I'm like, this is better.
A lot of that happens.
Vanguard's tripping.
A lot of that happens when you get in a match when it's crossplay between, and a lot of people get kicked out when it's PC, Xbox Series, and Xbox One. It seems to really struggle when all three types of players are in the match.
I probably should turn crossplay off. I feel like the servers are probably full enough where I don't need to have crossplay on.
Yeah, I turned off. I think I only play with console players. You can't say I only want to play with series players, but you can say I only want to play with console players.
So you can't be like an Xbox elitist and be like, I don't want to play with these peasants.
I only want to play with
One.
series players because they're the coolest. No, I'd rather play with Xbox One players. They're only running at 30 frames a second and probably can't move well.
Oh, I know. Well, yeah, I would. We would play Black Ops Cold War, and 3 of my friends had PS5s, and the other had a PS4. But what's funny is he's way better than all of us, so he still did pretty much the same as we did at that point. Had he been on PS5, he would have been kicking our ass. So.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
it's a lot of fun. I want to play that. That's like my main multiplayer now is Halo Infinite because Vanguard's been trash. I only went in there to get the Christmas stuff and get out. So, and Battlefield is Garbo, big time Garbo.
Yeah, Jesse said he actually asked for a refund and Microsoft gave it to him.
Wow.
Don't blame him. I don't blame him. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's fun for like 10 minutes when you're crafting, going scaling up a straight up like giant skyscraper. After that, it loses all of its savor. But anyway, that's it. That's all I've played.
Cool. Stephanie, what are you playing?
So, what have I been playing? I downloaded and began playing Hades from Game Pass. I do not like roguelikes, but everyone says this is kind of like the one to play. Next to Returnal, maybe, but I'm not good at video games, so out of the two, I went with
Hades. You might want to go on
Let-
Hades.
Let me tell you, as someone who's played both and loves roguelikes, Hades is the best roguelike there is.
I agree.
Straight up.
So
I hate roguelikes, and the only one I ever put any significant time into was Dead Cells. So
I do have Dead Cells downloaded
Also
on my
good one.
Switch, so I'll get to that. But yeah, so I've been playing Hades. I played and beat 12 minutes. That was also on Game Pass.
Mhm.
I love Annapurna. I mean, the game was okay.
Wait a minute. 12 minutes. 12 minutes was on Game Pass for the Xbox.
Yes.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
where it launched.
It's not on Game Pass on the PC.
Sorry.
Mm.
It was alright.
Let
You
me ask
know,
you,
LeRon,
Stephanie,
if you bought an
what
Xbox, you
was
could
the
have the
twist?
best of all
Like, how
worlds.
did you feel about the twist at the end?
How did I feel about the twist? Should I actually say it and say?
I think.
Well,
it's
don't say that because I do
Okay.
want to play it. But
Oh.
like,
Oh.
did it leave you heartbroken or like weirded out? Like, some people were like devastated by the end, and some people were like, "What the fuck is this?"
I was genuinely upset at this, not upset at the game, but it. How do I say I was emotionally invested when I found out that when it clicked for me, it clicked just before it made it super obvious. I'm like, oh no, oh no, oh no. So it wasn't. I mean, maybe I can see how some people are like, oh, that might be cliche or kind of like a cheap way to achieve the shock factor. But I personally thought it was very interesting. I felt really awful for the couple. I know there are several endings, and the ending I got once the reveal was over, I just didn't. The resolution wasn't satisfying to me. So the twist was great. Resolution for rolling credits,
Nice. Did you get like the ending, or did you look up different endings later?
I completed just one ending, and I don't know if that's I think there's 3 endings that roll credits, and there's a couple other ones. So I've only done one of the 3, and I'm not sure if I have to start the entire game over again if I want to get the other endings. And if that's the case, I don't think I want to do that. I might have to YouTube that.
Yeah, that's what I do. I don't play alternate endings. I just YouTube the rest.
Unless I'm so into the game, and I don't know, 12 minutes, as much as it was a nice short little stint, I don't want to replay it.
Oh, wait. There it is. There it is. I found it.
Feel better?
Yes, I feel much
There
better.
goes LeRon again, not paying attention and just talking to himself out loud.
No, I was like deep in the. It was like deep in the. Like, I'm listening to everything Stephanie was talking about, but I'm looking here. I was trying to find 12 minutes on Game Pass. Because I think my Game Pass, like my Game Pass feed is curated now to where like it actually basically is like games for you, you know. As it, yeah, where is it? Picks for you. Yeah, there we go. And it was not my picks for you. I guess I don't play enough of these type of indies games.
Well, I think it's great. I mean, for me, I like when games progress, and I'm not a smart gamer. You have to like pick certain clues in order to progress and get the next clue. And if you're past that time limit, because it's every 12 minutes, the moment restarts, I'd have to, find a way to end the scene, start all over again. So I got frustrated a little bit, but that's partially because I'm stupid. So
don't say that.
But I've actually been on a roll with games. I played and beat Speed Dating for Ghosts on the Nintendo Switch.
Ooh.
As recommended by Celeste, I think. It's a short game. It's super funny. All the ghosts look like they probably are hand-drawn. If you look up Gary, I think I posted his picture on Twitter, but if you look up Gary from Speed Dating for Ghosts, it will give you nightmares. He will haunt you in your sleep. Yep,
yeah,
Gary.
Yeah.
I actually wrote a review on it. I think it'll be publishing this upcoming Saturday. What else am I playing? Oh, and I started playing the game No, and I'll speak to it at a later topic. So yeah, I've been trying to punch out a lot of shorter games. So I don't know, scratch out some on my backlog that's been growing.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gary.
LeRon, what are you
like
playing?
A guy?
Well, I haven't really played a lot this
Or
this
watching.
past week,
I forgot.
so.
Watching. What are you guys watching? Sorry.
Do you guys want to start over now?
No, it's fine. Somebody
Go
wants
ahead,
to
LeRon.
chime in. We can get. We'll
Okay.
circle back.
All right. Well, the only thing I've actually had time to play this past week because I'm packing up my home and stuff and getting ready to move and stuff is once again like Nintendo Switch got some playtime and I actually dropped a lot of time into Big Brain.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's something about just trying to best your own scores. It's just like
Oh, yeah.
Because man, like the whack-a-mole category, for example, like oh my god, I get pissed at myself when because you know how like you had like what's called the flinch reflex, where basically like you know what you're supposed to be hitting, but as soon as you see something, you just hit it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that pisses me off sometimes. Like I think I've got just under 1,000 points in like that whack-a-mole category, and so I'm like, man, come on, I can do this. I can get to like the 12th to 13th round in this, and sometimes I wind up with a 300 score. It's like, man. And I'm playing catch up on Hawkeye right now. Like I just finished episode 4. I'm gonna try and watch episode 5 tonight before I go to bed.
Yeah, I want to watch that tonight while I edit it. While I edit the show. I also want to watch The Matrix. The Matrix is out today too.
Yes, The Matrix is out. The Matrix is out. Yeah, I plan on watching that
tomorrow.
I've seen a lot of mixed reviews, but I don't care. I think it's gonna be awesome.
And I'm going to be watching Welcome to Raccoon City. I'll probably watch that on Christmas Day. Because Christmas Day, I'm not doing anything as far as packing or moving is concerned.
Let me ask you this, guys. I want to watch the new Matrix movie, but I want my wife to watch it with me, and she's never seen any of the Matrix movies.
Ooh.
Should I just make her watch the first one, or should I make her watch all 3?
No, you need to make her watch all 3 because this is a direct sequel to 3.
Yeah, but can't I just fill in
the other two movies aren't that
Austin,
bad?
Okay, Austin. I need to tell you this now, so you probably should at least prime Katie to watch the first movie. The beginning of Matrix Resurrections, basically, you're seeing people watch like the events, you remember the telephone scene where Trinity does like the kick? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like they're watching that. They're watching that, but it's at a different perspective. So, or worst case scenario is watch that movie, then you have a reason to go back and make her watch all three.
Or you just make her watch the first one, then the new one, and then go back and watch the second, third one. Just give her a whole mind trip on that one. Just really mess with her.
Yeah. So that's been it for me this week. There's nothing else. Like that I really, because like everything's on Christmas break right now, with the exception of like the shows that are on like the actual streaming affiliates, like Disney Plus. For example, that's this week, and Hawkeye's finale just happened today. So yeah, like I'm trying to watch it. I'll try to watch episode 5 tonight before I go to bed. That way I can wake up in the morning and watch episode 6 after I watch episode 6 of Star Trek Discovery season 4 and episode 13 of Young Justice season 4.
You know what that also means?
My Thursday mornings are usually loaded when I wake up, because there's new Star Trek, there's new Young Justice for the time being, and
Boba Fett starts next week too.
Yeah, Boba Fett starts next week. Yeah. So I wonder what's going to start when Boba Fett ends, because like that's Disney Plus's thing. Like a show goes off and a new one starts. That's how
there's like 47 Star Wars shows in the works now too, right? Oh, yep. Isn't it like it's going to be one of the
Bad Batch?
Isn't it the Miss Marvel show that starts after Boba Fett?
I had not heard anything about Miss Marvel show.
Yeah, it's like done. It was supposed to start in December, and then they delayed everything.
What Ms. Marvel show?
The Miss Marvel show. Just look it up.
This is news to me, too. I missed this completely.
Oh, no, man. This was like the first show they announced. This was literally like the first Marvel show they announced.
This is the one with Kamala Khan.
Yeah.
I forget about the difference between Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel. I forget about that
and
one.
And then the new
Captain Marvel. Ms. Marvel's an Inhuman.
Yeah.
And
right.
Captain Marvel is a human who got blessed with powers.
Yeah.
Hashtag blessed.
There's no date for this when it starts.
Well, that's because they don't announce dates until like the current show is almost over. That way you stay subscribed.
Well, I didn't even know this was coming. I thought Ms. Marvel was going to be a movie, not a series.
I mean, she's in the next Captain Marvel movie. Well, I guess it's just called The Marvels now. But anyways.
There's only 6 episodes of Hawkeye, right?
Yeah, I thought there were more.
The last one
I thought there were 8. So
yeah, I want to watch it more now because there's a controversial ending to it. And I want to know.
Oh, is it?
This is
what's so controversial.
This is throwing me.
I saw several people be like, I'm not watching another Netflix show or another Disney Plus Marvel show after this ending,
What?
I guess.
Well,
I don't know why.
An ending for
Couldn't
Hawkeye?
tell you why. Yeah. Couldn't tell you why. But I like controversial endings. I like endings that make people mad.
They can shut the hell up because they know they're going to watch it. You know what? We spoke a few weeks ago about Marvel fatigue, and then what happened? Like the Eternals came out and basically rocked another record, and now Spider-Man just like Spider-Man looks like it's going to be the top movie for 2021.
Well, it probably already.
It definitely still exists for me. It still exists for me. Spider-Man's the only one that got me to theaters, and I still haven't watched Loki or anything after that.
I've seen Shang-Chi. I got cast the Eternals, and when my boyfriend comes back from California, we're going to see Spider-Man.
Something is coming. What? Something's coming in December or on Christmas Eve, I think. Eternals coming to Disney Plus on Christmas Eve, I think.
Is it? Probably.
I think so. I don't
Is
remember.
the Muppets Christmas thing already out?
Yep.
Yeah, that was
Christmas show.
That was like Thanksgiving week it came out, right?
Yeah, it came out like that week. So
I'm so behind on everything.
Yeah. Well,
I might jump on this Guardians of the Galaxy. It's $40 on Steam.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Play it with me.
That was my Emperor
even though it's a single player game.
That was really bad. Do it.
Do it.
I guess it's my turn.
Your turn.
Played a lot of Halo this week. That's about the only game I did because I was so busy doing other stuff. But I did, after heavy convincing from people, I did finally watch one of the movies off of my long list of movies that I've never seen.
Which movie was it?
I watched Ghostbusters last night.
Yay!
All right.
Which is also our first episode of Standard Definition, which we are recording on Sunday.
Oh crap! I can't ask you for your thoughts on it then.
You can. I don't care. We're doing an hour and a half show on it. I can give my 5-minute impression on Ghostbusters.
Okay, tell us about it.
It was fun. It was fine. Like it was just fine. Bill Murray is a creep in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, Sigourney Weaver is like the hottest thing I've ever seen in that movie. And then everybody else is just kind of like, so, God, what's his name? The guy that recently passed away, Harold Ramis, is hilarious because he's just so like stiff and stern and just.
He's my favorite.
Yeah, he was pretty funny. Dan Aykroyd is just kind of like all over the place. He's just like he's so just all over the place. Like I mean, obviously they're like super playing into the roles of the character, but like these days you see a lot of characters like really fleshed out and have like a more even personality with like a quirk that sticks out, but they're just like their quirks are just like turned up to 11 in this movie. And then
I would say between all of them, Ramus's character Spengler, he's the most kind of consistent.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
Sorry.
Also, God, why am I forgetting everybody's name? Rick Moranis' character is just like
Louis Tully.
Yeah. Hey, you want to come to my party? Yeah, I'm having a party. I invited a bunch of people I do work for, and I know I don't do your taxes, and you shouldn't do your own taxes. That's a bad idea. But you should come to my room, and we could have a party. Want to come to the party? Then he always locks himself out of his apartment, even when there's guests inside, which was also pretty funny.
And always trying to check up on Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Man. I love Rick Moranis.
I love Rick Moranis in general. He's just the best.
Yeah.
All right, so Austin knows what I'm about to ask you.
Oh boy.
Do you agree with our Crossroads compatriot Chris Drew as the best movie ever?
Oh my gosh, no. I don't know. Like okay, so I watched it. I would not go out of my way to watch it again.
Oh, thank you.
Like it was like okay, so
you're making Stephanie sad though. You are making Stephanie sad.
I know. I feel a little bit of rage coming through her soul. But
I feel targeted.
Wait.
How much rage?
Stephanie,
and disappointment?
Stephanie.
What's the
Stephanie
ratio?
loves Ghostbusters. I think that's the only reason why we're doing it first.
Do you love Ghostbusters that much?
I do. I wouldn't say it's the best movie of all time. I will also say it is not. But I do love Ghostbusters dearly, and it's been revived because of Afterlife, and like it. I'm gonna stop.
I love Ghostbusters too. I think the entire franchise is good, including the reboot that had the four comedians, the ladies.
Yeah.
I like that one. I think maybe it's because Chris Hemsworth was also in it, but I like that one. But
I can definitely tell it. So it feels like a proper 80s movie that people who watched it in the 80s and grew up would love this movie.
It was a product of the times, that's for sure.
That's what it feels like. It feels like the way I feel about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Ferris Bueller or, that kind of thing. It's just that type of movie where, like, if you grew up watching it, you're going to love it, Mm-hmm.
See, like Chris got mad at me because I said Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a better movie than Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, it's way better. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is way better. But I don't. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't understand why is Slimer like the face of the franchise? Like he's in it for like 30 seconds and like doesn't really play a big part in it at all. Is there something with like
in the
cartoon, like Slimer was just the first ghost that they actually encountered and caught. Like that's That's basically the symbolism behind that, and like because he showed up again in the second movie, but it was really low key on that one too.
Yeah.
But
also,
he was
like Scooby Doo in the cartoon, basically. Like,
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, the running gag is they can't seem to keep him caught.
But man, dude, like that first scene with Bill Murray and the girl that he's doing the experiment on. Like, oh my gosh, dude, this would this would never get made today. This is this would never ever happen today.
I'm shocked that it didn't get canceled.
Yeah.
No, trust me, it's still cringy. Like, as obviously a clear super fan of that movie, I really cringed the first 10-15 minutes, and then it was fine, but that was bad.
Yeah. And then I didn't realize the movie was rated PG, and there's clearly a ghost blowjob scene in that movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I realized, this came out before Temple of Doom, which was the first PG-13 movie, and I was like, oh, this is probably one of those movies that influenced that rating. But
we got to see some tighty whities.
I do want to say that a lot of the effects really hold up.
Yeah.
The demon dogs are they you can tell that that's stop motion, but a lot of the effects really hold up. The otherworldly place where Zool comes in and that all kind of holds up. By the way, I don't know if that was Sigourney Weaver or just another woman playing Zool, but that outfit was...
That was another woman.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, that outfit is really I don't know. I felt like this was a prequel to The Labyrinth or something from David Bowie. I feel like that lady raided David Bowie's closet or something. And then the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man scene was I can see why that's pretty iconic too.
It's iconic, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Also, Ernie Hudson wasn't in it as much as I thought he was going to be either. I feel like he's such a big part of the nostalgia. He must be a big part of 2.
He was. I mean, spoiler alert for anyone that hasn't seen the original Ghostbusters film. He was the additional hire. They needed another. They need another Ghostbuster, and so he shows up halfway through the movie.
By the way, speaking of hires, Janine is the star of the entire movie. She's the best.
I love Annie Potts. I love her.
She's the best. She's the best part of that movie.
I just love when she. I love when she was giving Winston the 3rd degree, and he was like, "As long as there's steady paycheck involved, I'll believe anything you say."
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the government guy that came in to try to shut them down was the stereotypical 80s villain guy, just the stooge that comes in and tries to ruin everything. He was oh my gosh, his acting was so different from everybody else's in the movie. He felt out of place, as just being a part of the movie, and I'm just you are the bad guy, you suck. And then he turned the thing off and all the ghosts started flying out and the portal opened up. That was pretty funny.
We'll dig into that on standard def, but I will say, as much as he kind of did stick out like a sore thumb, but I feel like that's the one bit of relevance that will apply to today, that there's always some sort of government official fucking things up.
Yeah.
Fucking things up. The stick's way too far up his ass for whatever reason.
It's hey, that's relevant.
Yeah. And so overall, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I will. I'm assuming at some point on standard def we will do Ghostbusters 2 and Afterlife and the third movie that nobody liked. So, anyways.
That's the female Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah.
I like that movie. Then again, I typically like most reboots or remakes. I typically like them, because I look at what they're trying to do differently and not what they're trying to necessarily copy.
Yeah. So I I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. I can see why people love it, I guess, is my overall picture.
Yeah.
I did buy myself 2 Christmas gifts though. So I am on a quest to find Xbox consoles complete in box, and very specific models and makes and stuff. So I found a day one original Xbox complete in box with all inserts. It's a launch day Xbox. The box is branded launch.
Ow.
And I ended up getting that, and it came with the Duke controller. Only the launch ones came with the Duke controllers with the green circle in the middle that say Xbox across it, the way that the original Xbox does on top. Every model afterwards had just the black circle with the green X in the middle. So I found that, and I'm very excited to get that. And I also found a launch day Xbox 360 complete in box with all manuals and everything. It probably doesn't work because it's a launch day Xbox 360, but this is more for like I watched that Xbox documentary. I'm on my 3rd watch through right now. I just think it's so good, and it's like really hitting some weird nostalgia points, even though like my nostalgia for Xbox didn't really hit until the Xbox 360. I do have a lot of nostalgia for Halo, specifically Halo 1. And I just think the way that the Xbox got off the ground is really fascinating. Like even if you guys don't care about Xbox, if you watch the first 2 episodes at least, it's how they got Bill Gates to sign off on the original Xbox, and how hard it was for them to get that put together. And definitely really fascinating. The whole reason the Xbox got off the ground is because the DirectX team told Bill Gates that PlayStation was putting a PC in the living room, and he didn't like that. And so, but I've had a lot of nostalgia, especially for like consoles, especially 360 era consoles that I traded in for other consoles and other things, or got rid of because I needed money at the time. And so, like, I'm trying to track these consoles down. You know, the thing that every Nintendo fan goes through.
Uh-huh.
This is what I'm going through now. So yeah, I did those 2 things, and
Nice.
you know, the second one really only happened because GameStop canceled my pre-order for the Cade Destiny statue, because it's GameStop and they cancel orders all the time. They also every time I order a Destiny statue from them, they cancel it like 2 weeks later. This is the 3rd one, so I'm like, I'm done. I'll just wait till it comes to Amazon and buy it straight up. So that's all I did. That's all I did. So speaking of games, do we have another topic that we want to do first, or do we just want to jump into this Game of the Year stuff?
Well, Game of the Year sounds like it's our main topic. I did ask our fun and fabulous Discord community, if you haven't joined it, you should, about some of the weirdest video games you've either played or heard of or want to play. I don't know if we want to touch upon it now or maybe next time.
Well, I mean, Austin's on the show, so I know he has one he can throw at us.
Oh, I put him out.
Look,
there.
he's played Vita.
He
Plays Vita religiously. You know, he should have been on the naughty video games for After Dark. That's where all the.
I didn't even mention any of the Vita ones. I didn't even mention those.
Then I don't know.
I mean, I had a topic just in case.
Okay, if it's quick, let's run through it. Let's do it. Whose
are we
doing? Stephanie's or
doesn't matter to me.
Let's do weird games. We'll save yours for next week, LeRon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, what are some weird? So this topic came to my mind because I started playing this game called No. It's literally just called No, and it was one of those small indie games on the eShop that were on sale for wicked cheap. And I thought the premise was cool. It's like in a world where you have to always say yes, especially at work. Like this is the video game that gives you the opportunity to say no to everything and anything. I'm like, oh, that's cool and probably good for my mental health or something. And not that I've played much of it, but first you make your own character. The graphics don't look great, but there's almost like an intention to it. Like think of a really crapped out version of Minecraft, blocky characters.
Okay.
But it's cool. I made this like blonde dude with a yellow crop top and white pants and yellow shoes. Like it was fun. But I don't know. It just got weird. I thought it was supposed to be you in the office saying no to people, but then it starts off. You're in this castle, and I don't even know how to explain. Apparently, your character is playing a video game, so you start off in that video game. And your magic powers is to say no, but then that magic power got robbed of you from this evil wizard, and then, boom, you get a flashback to your main character, and you now get hired as an intern for this job. But apparently, you have this inability to say no. So all I've been doing since like the last hour that I played of it is running around the office trying to say no to people, but it's not working. I don't know. It's just so weird. And I know that's not the weirdest game, but that's what prompted, my question into the Discord. And I did take some screenshots, so I want to shout out a couple people, if that's all right, and a couple things. So, Stoy, who's part of Arsenal X and EXP said, my name is Mayo2.
Oh, I've heard of that one.
Eddie V, our awesome Eddie V. Later Dater.
Have not heard of that one.
Whoops. Let's see what else. Infinite Rewind, Saturn Valley. I've not heard of that one.
No, I haven't had, no.
DCD, or our own Dan. Dynamite, Hetty, and Wild Arms. 2 different games.
Wait, what was the weird about Wild Arms?
I don't know.
Dynamite Heady was a weird game. I played that one on PS1.
Wild Arms is a great game.
Yeah, Wild Arms is awesome.
Well, Wild Arms was a great game, but they did shit for Q&A for that game.
And
weird doesn't mean that it's crap. Weird can be a good weird, and weird can be weird.
And it came out 6 weeks before Final Fantasy VII, so they didn't. Favors.
So it got buried basically.
Yeah.
Let's see. Salty Barnacle, I think that's Josh from EXP says, have to go with Stretch Panic on the PS2. You use spectral ghost arms to pinch fat ladies and cause them to pop in order to beat the level.
I remember that game.
Wow.
That reminds me of Fat Princess. Fat Princess is a great game.
Fat Princess is a weird game, dude.
You're feeding her cake.
I love Fat Princess. Oh my god. This woman's boobs are bigger than the rest of her. Like,
wait,
that's
what are you
the
looking
majority.
Oh,
I'm looking at Stretch Panic on the PS2. I can't believe it's a rated T game. Hold on.
While he's looking that up, I think the last one I'll list is also from Stoy, and I'm going to play this. I think it's on Game Pass now. It's Procession to Calvary.
Yeah,
that
game is really weird. That game's like it's like an adventure game. It's an adventure game where each scene in the game is based. Oh my gosh! Wow!
I wasn't joking, man. Those are like giant beach balls.
Oh man, what?
It's
we need to find some way to have our chat connected to the Twitch stream chat so they can see that.
Oh man.
Sorry.
Procession of Cavalry is a game where it's an adventure game, and each scene in the game is based off of a real Renaissance painting, but they made a comedy out of it, and so you're just this person wandering through these paintings and asking people so the king is, what's his name, Immortal Jim or something is the king's name, and you have after the opening scene where the war is over, you have to your character wants to keep killing people for some reason, and you have to go find Immortal Jim to ask him to keep killing people, and you have the opening discussion with Immortal Jim is are you really immortal? He's like, nah, I don't know, people think I am, so I'm just gonna roll with it. And your character's like, oh, can I kill you? He's like, no. He's like, go to the north, and then you roll into the next painting, and then like you find the boat to go north, but the boatman doesn't have any oars. So you go back to the previous scene and find the person with crutches, which are the person's oars for the boat. And you have to try to convince this person who can't walk to give up their crutches so you can use them in the boat to go north. It's a really stupid, crazy game. It's on Game Pass also, so if you are looking for that Game Pass game to play.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me.
I know Stoy said it's very Monty Python, which is why I want to play that game.
That's exactly what it feels
Monty
like.
Python.
Anyone else have played and experienced some pretty freaky, weird games? Or
oh yeah, there's a bunch. Remember Seaman for the Dreamcast?
For his Dreamcast, yeah.
Where you plugged a microphone into the Dreamcast controller and you talked to this little fish person and tried to
and get to evolve. Like you had to intellectually stimulate it to get it to evolve.
Yeah. That game was really weird. And Leonard Nimoy narrated that game, by the way.
No, he was he was the Seaman.
Oh, was he? I thought he was the narrator.
Nope, he was the Seaman.
Anyways, I Am Bread.
I've seen memes of this.
If you play
I Am Bread.
I Am Bread.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Deer Simulator is something we played for Arsenal X one week. And
Deer Simulator was hilarious.
It's so stupid, dude. They take you to this character creator and you spend all this time making this character, and in the first 5 seconds you get hit by a semi truck and are reincarnated as a deer. And then you just wreak havoc on the city, and like you can replace your antlers with like pistols, and your neck stretches and you can swing around the city like Spider-Man with your neck, and it's so stupid. Game is so stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking weird.
Yeah.
Is the swing mechanics better than the Spider-Man gameplay
the
in
controls,
Avengers?
The controls, like don't get me started on Avengers. Speaking of weird games, no, dude, the controls in this game suck. They suck so bad. They're so bad.
Hey, Austin, you remember a game called Incredible Crisis for PS1?
I don't think so. I don't think I played this one.
That was one of the first. That was one of the first wacky and weird games I can remember playing. And basically, like you're playing as a dude who's having the worst day ever, and you have to keep his wits about him because he will have a freaking like mental breakdown. Like, actually, now I feel like that game is perfect for COVID.
I'm looking at it right now. This is an interesting game. There's a lot of different stuff going on with this man.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, like for example, he gets stuck in a Ferris wheel. On a Ferris wheel. Like I don't even know how, because like his day starts off right. He's at his office. He's in his office building. And I can't remember what happens. Oh, I know what happens. Like the construction site next to him, like they're trying to demolish a building. The giant wrecking ball and stuff. Like it breaks off the chain, and like the ball actually breaks the wall on his floor. And the first thing, so basically, he's doing the Indiana Jones thing, in the very first part of the game, and then from there the day just like gets worse for him.
Did you guys ever play the game Naughty Bear?
Yes.
Yes.
Dude,
Naughty Bear's great.
That's a weird game, but it's so like it's so just hilariously awful. You play for those who don't know, Naughty Bear you are a teddy bear, and you're on an island with a bunch of other teddy bears, but they all don't like you. So you go around murdering the other teddy bears.
Awesome.
In like really grotesque ways. It's hilarious.
It's great. It's fantastic. It was one of those games where as soon as I saw it at GameStop, I bought it immediately. I was like, this is my kind of game. This is the game that I want to play.
Yeah.
And it was terrible, but great.
Yeah, it runs terribly. There's a sequel. Did you know there's a sequel to Naughty Bear?
There's
it's like a 1.5 version. It's not like it's not like a full sequel, but there's like a second game.
Spencer, Spencer in our chat mentioned a game called The Neverhood. I had to look that up because I'd never heard of it.
The what?
The Neverhood. Let's see. A criminally underrated late 90s PC release which only saw a very niche success in more recent years. The Neverhood is a point-and-click adventure title that feels a bit like what Myst would be if it were done entirely in claymation.
Oh.
Almost more of a movie than a game. The Neverhood boasts an aesthetic straight out of an old Wallace and Gromit short film. It requires quite a bit of patience to get running and play through today, but the pseudo first-person approach make it a worthwhile experience. It's also the sort of game that could equally be enjoyed via YouTube Let's Play series. I wonder.
Oh, I actually have seen this game. I've never played it, but I've seen clips of it from different things.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was a game though. Or a point and click adventure. I just thought it was just some kind of short. Huh.
Did you guys ever play Mr. Mosquito for PS2?
Yes. Yeah.
I know that got brought up.
That game should have been on the naughty games list.
Oh.
Because like the whole game, like there's like the demo came with, I think it came with Psychonauts actually, the demo for that game.
Wow.
And because they were published by the same publisher, and Majesco, and you played as a mosquito, and the whole demo was a bathroom scene where this girl was laying in a bathtub, and you were like trying to bite her as she was getting out of the tub, and it was that was the whole scene. I'm like, I'm not sure you want to put this with Psychonauts, this wholesome like game. So, man, cool.
I'm trying to see if it was a demo, but I don't see anything on the wiki.
I don't know. Maybe I just had it. Maybe I was just a weird, perverted 13-year-old. I don't know. That could also.
It got
be
a
true.
sequel.
It did. What?
There's on July 3rd, 2003, a sequel called Ka 2, Let's Go to Hawaii, was released only in Japan. Game takes place in Hawaii.
Okay, I vaguely remember Star Wars Masters of Taras Kazi. But
The fighting game? The Star Wars fighting game?
Yeah.
Game was awesome. Awesomely bad, but awesome. Yeah, man, you're telling me Chewbacca could take down Darth Vader? Of course he could.
I now remember it was Battle Bears was on the phone, and you played it as a teddy bear, killing all the other teddy bears that were all happy and stuff, and you hated them, and you dreamed they were like zombies that were all happy, and you shoot them, and rainbows would pop out of them. That was a game where I played as an edgy teen because I hated all things that were bright and shiny.
Yeah, I mean, fair, I guess.
The first weird game I ever played that I remember as a kid was Open Season for the movie.
Oh yeah, I got.
And
it was one of the easiest 1,000 achievement points I ever got. There was like this list.
Yeah.
Official Xbox magazine they had a list that said, "Do you want to get 10,000 gamer score in 2 days?" I'm like, "Yes, I do."
Yeah.
And Open Season was on that list. I actually did about half of the list if I go back, because I had it was before you could change before I knew you could change your name on Xbox, so I created a new gamer tag. And I was like, well, I want to get some gamer score up before I try to play some real games here. Let me see. Let me see if I can bring it up here. It was a bunch of weird
Did you play the mini games on there?
Yeah, you had to for the achievements.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm scrolling down. Scrolling. It's pretty fast, actually. The first game I ever got 1,000 gamer score on was Cars.
Hell yeah.
Cars, and then I got Fight Night Round 3. I got 900 gamer score in NBA Street. 1,000 in Open Season, 1,000 in King Kong, 1,000 in Madden NFL 08, 200 in Doritos Dash of Destruction. 1,000 in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 1,000 in Avatar: The Last Airbender, 1,000 in Madden 2009, and then I played a bunch of arcade games that had a bunch of 200 easy points.
Wow.
So
Let me tell you, that King Kong game, I still think about to this day. Like back then, it was a great game. That King Kong game.
was it?
It was
though?
so much fun.
It
It was so much fun.
I don't remember it being fun, like at all.
I loved it on PS2. It was so much fun. Just try to kill dinosaurs. Like it was ridiculous. You try to beat them with a stick. You can beat dinosaurs with a stick if you were good enough. It was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a mini game on Open Season where you had to like when the music play, you have to like shake your butt to get this porcupine off
Yeah.
of you. And then when the music stopped, you had to stop. It was like it was great.
I wonder what the achievement's called. Hold on, I want to find what I remember the achievement had a weird name, but Open Season.
Buddy.
While he's
Porcupine,
looking,
I would say.
LeRon, any weird, quirky games for you?
Besides Incredible Crisis, it's the only one that was the only one that comes on top of my. I typically try to steer away from games that I know look weird like that. I mean, I feel like actually Earthworm Jim, as good as it is, weird ass game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what? I think Block had mentioned that as well. So I want to see if I can find that.
There's also, I think there's a new Earthworm Jim coming out soon.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
and
only
oh,
for it's only for that in television Amico.
Austin? Which Ratchet and Clank had the Chicken Ray? That was
Chicken Ray?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the sheep ray?
There was a Chicken Ray too. There was one where you shoot the enemies and they turn into like a chicken.
I'm trying to remember which one that is. I know the sheep ray is up your arsenal.
See,
The sheepinator.
This is why Insomniac needs to go back to Resistance, because man, like their weapons were so unique.
Oh yeah.
Like man, like the tracer beam from freaking in Resistance, where you were, even if you were out of ammo, if you would lock down to something, as soon as you pick up ammo, you just see stuff, you shoot out your gun and find the enemy. You don't even shoot the weapon anymore. What's Corey carrying? What's he got?
Show and tell time, folks.
Oh no.
Looks like he grabbed a laptop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lame. That's gonna be something
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
I
A
thought you were
weird
gonna
game
bring
that
out
I
a gun
wanna
from
play.
Resistance.
I don't know if it's easy to get, like Tingle's Rosy Rupee Land.
We're not going there. No.
I mean, it's a Nintendo
Game Boy?
game. It'll probably cost you $40 or $50 at least, out of box.
Is that a Game Boy Advance?
I think it's
I think.
either Advance or DS.
Okay.
I don't remember which one.
Another annoying Nintendo character.
No,
I don't
Tingle
like
is endearing. You shut your mouth. Just kidding. I don't.
He's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did mention in the Discord, which Stoy mentioned Genital Jousting, which I don't know if you played that.
Yes.
That's a great game.
General Jousting, yes. I played that.
Wow.
That
Do I
game-
dare Google those two words together?
You should. You should.
You'll get
Just
the
put,
first,
just
the
put
first
video
hit will
game
be,
afterwards.
No. If she does General Jousting, the first hit will be the game. I can't guarantee her what the every hit after that will be.
Either way, I guess you'll have fun looking it up.
Thanks.
You're welcome. That's why I'm here.
And there's the weirdest game I think I've ever played is Shower with Your Dad Simulator.
Oh.
That's a
Oh, right. I was going to comment, and then I really was at a loss for words, literally. I'm like,
Shower with Your Dad Simulator is this game where you are a kid who is showering with his dad, and the problem is every once in a while the showers get mixed up, and you have to try to remember which one your dad's in, or else you're going to be showering with a strange man.
Ooh, no.
It's an interesting, very.
how
very
was that
strange
video game okayed, at least here in America?
What's weird is when I got my laptop, so it must have came out in 2014 or 2015 because it came out and was on the front page the first day I looked at Steam. Like when I got Steam on Steam the first time, that was the first game that popped up and it was on the front page for like $8. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do this. And I regret it. I regret it instantly. But I don't regret General Jousting. General Jousting is a fun game.
Wow. On that note, speaking of fun games, it's time for our game of the year talk.
The games we had the games we had the most fun with this past year.
Yeah.
Yep.
LeRon, did you play General Jousting this year?
Yeah.
Did I
Not on PC.
The video game? The video game or
all right, so we're gonna talk about our game of the year, our personal games of the year, because we're doing something really cool and unique for game of the year for Boss Rush overall, I think. But we still have our own personal lists I think we could go over. And so how it's gonna work is we're gonna round robin it. We're gonna talk about our honorable mentions swiftly, and then we'll go through our top 5 games of the year. So as I, nervously changed my list 3 times since we've been sitting here. I just can't decide. It's just so good, It's just
you have commitment issues.
I know.
Well, I think it's been an interesting year, right? I don't think it was a complete bum year. I mean, it's much better than 2020. Yet at the same time, I don't know, just the way I think we've had like a couple solid home runs throughout all 3 consoles. Probably more so Xbox and PlayStation than the other one. So.
Yeah. So
I agree.
I mean, although I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. It's the Nintendo thing though. Like they go like stretches of time without a first party game, although next year seems to be loaded, but they'll go
exactly.
They'll go like months without a first party game, and then when they put one out, it's a banger, And then they wrap every year with Pokemon, which sells 1 billion units no matter how bad it is, and then it's just how Nintendo operates.
I really don't know
Definitely
what game Nintendo could put out and not be a banger. Like, I mean, they could put out anything they want at this point. It's going to sell.
I mean, yeah, but let's face it. In the last 20 years, Ubisoft made the best Star Fox game we've gotten in, so with Starlink. Starlink was great, by the way. Starlink, if you haven't played it, play it on Switch because you get the Star Fox campaign, and it is wonderful.
Did you get all the spaceships and all that with it too?
What I did was I bought the physical one to get the God, what is it called? Jeez, Star Fox ship. The Star Fox ship.
R-Wing?
Yeah, that one. R-Wing. Jeez, I kept wanting to say X-Wing, and I'm like, no, that's not right. And then I said the Y-Wing, and that's not right. Those are Star Wars ships.
What kind of fan are you?
I know, a fake one.
Do you even play Star Fox, Corey?
No, the last good Star Fox game was on Nintendo 64, okay?
Which is now on the expansion pass thing on my Bob online.
I want to say Star Fox Zero would have been better if they wouldn't have added gyroscopic shooting to the gamepad. I do want to say that. Also, the GameCube games aren't bad. That first one's just not a Star Fox game, and the second one was rushed because, for some reason, I forget why it was rushed. But
all right, game of the year. Let's go.
Game of the year.
I was just about to say. I thought it was talking about game of the year, not games of the past.
You know what, LeRon? You shut your mouth. All right, Austin. What are your honorable mentions? Swiftly.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give my 3 honorable mentions here. I'm going to start off with the one that I mentioned earlier, and that is the best multiplayer game this year that I have to give to Halo Infinite. And I won't say too much more about that, but it's up there. I have not played the campaign, so don't come at me for that, but the multiplayer is very good. And in a year where there's like multiplayer kind of dragged this year, this was definitely the best one, best bang for your buck, especially if you have Game Pass, because it's included.
Yeah, I gotta agree. That's on my honorable mention. It's only an honorable mention because I haven't played the campaign, but it definitely deserves to be recognized.
Yeah, it's a little bit higher up on my list actually, mostly because
shocked.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It wasn't okay. I'll talk about it when we get there. Anyways, continue, Austin. Sorry.
I have a feeling that I'm gonna like the campaign, but I don't think I'm gonna like it more than Far Cry 6. That'll be the test. If I like it more than Far Cry 6, then this could be.
Well, if you like Far Cry, you're gonna like Halo's campaign.
Well, that's what I hear. So that's what I'm saying. It's possible I like it more, but we'll see. Yeah. I haven't played Far Cry 6 either, though, or else they could have been on this list possibly. Yeah, because Far Cry 5, Game of the Year, 2017. That's right, Far Cry 5. Rain on Your Parade, another honorable mention. A great game. It's on Switch and Xbox. I believe it's still on Game Pass. If you have that, you play as this little tiny cloud, and just rain on everyone, causing havoc and stuff.
What?
Telling those people where to go. Oh, dude, it's great. Rain on Your Parade is a fun game. You're a little cloud, and your cloud made out of cardboard. The art style is really cool. You're there's if you like The Office, there's an Office level on there, and it's fantastic.
No way.
If you love The Office, you're gonna love this because there's so many little things in there that are from the show and stuff. They've got a zombie one. They got all kinds of levels on there. It's hilarious. I was laughing my ass off. It's one of the funniest games I've played in a while. And it just couldn't make the cut because I wanted to put it in my top 5. Big time. And then this is going to surprise some people. But Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. That is in my honorable mentions. I love the game. I love Ratchet. I love Rivet. I love her addition to the game. I like Kit a lot. But I don't think it's the best Ratchet and Clank game I played. And I feel like it could have done more. But it was still a fun game nonetheless. I cannot wait for the next one in the series. So that... And I do have another honorable mention, but I know it's going to be on Corey's list later, so I didn't put it on there. I saved myself a spot for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Are y'all sharing notes? What's going on here?
We're sharing all kinds of things, LeRon. You're not included.
I just know Corey has this game on his list. I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
I do.
Yeah. He already knows what I'm talking about.
I do. I know exactly what you're talking about. Stephanie, what are your honorable mentions this year?
Honorable mentions. This might be on someone's list. Is Forza on anyone's list?
It's on my honorable
mentions.
Mentions.
It's on my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
All right. I will not speak to it more then because you guys have actually played it. Chicory: A Colorful Tale is on my honorable mentions. I think it's okay. Then I won't go into it more. I'll let you talk about it. Anyone heard of Rogue Heroes: Ruins of Tasos?
I have heard of it. I can't tell you anything about it though.
So it's very much surprise, very much like a Zelda game, and that would probably be the reason why I like it. I went through the demo, and I did buy the actual game itself when it went on sale. A quick summary: you can play with up to 3 friends, but because I don't have friends, it's probably just me. You explore different locations, different dungeons, so to speak, and it's got your ice, fire, forest. That's why it made me think of those monsters. Save the world, magical items. There's a class system. So it's just, and it's it plays like a top-down Zelda. So if you like Zelda, I do recommend Rogue Heroes: Ruins of Tasos. That's it for my honorable mentions.
Cool.
I have to check that one out.
Yeah. Well, Ron, what are your honorable mentions?
Okay. I'll go ahead and start this off. My number 3 honorable mention was Forza Horizon 5. I will say this: I did not think that get back into caring about a racing game as much as I did when I picked up Forza Horizon 5. But man, it's a fun game. Like I'm not one of those people who like
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I got to stop doing that. I was just gonna say it's not really like a racing game. It's more of just a driving game with racing in it.
Yeah. I agree with that. Like it just I haven't gotten this warm and fuzzy about a driving game since Burnout Paradise. and that's
the way,
true. Uh-huh.
I saw the McLaren last night or the night before from Forza, the same one. The what's it called? I forgot, but see it, I was like, oh, it was hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Like in person?
Yeah. It drove by me. And I was like, what is that? And I was like, I sped up just to see if I could figure out what because it was also dark. And this guy definitely knew I was checking out his car because I was almost tailgating him. Trying to figure out.
But Forza Horizon 5 was definitely worth every drop of hard drive space that I used to get this game on there though. Like I'm definitely enjoying it. I haven't been playing it as hardcore as I was when it first came out, but I still casually like pick it up and play it, and stuff like that. Because I hear like you get rewarded like every week or so for just like logging in and stuff, and I'm just not committed enough to doing all that.
Yeah.
My number 2 honorable mention was The Medium. I played that on Xbox Game Pass this year, and I did enjoy it. But the thing about The Medium is I feel like it was missing something. Like it felt like it was lacking something. Like it's good. The story is compelling and stuff like that. I have not picked it up for PlayStation 5 because I do want to see how well it treats the DualSense controller, because apparently the PS5 experience is the way you do the Medium. But I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, that made it on my list. So
yeah,
okay,
that's
that game.
That's a team that was really kind of like what are they? They're known for like Amnesia and Layers of Fear and stuff, and those are like DS
Bloober
games.
Team.
And you move from something like the DS or the 3DS to a Series X to try to. That's pretty ambitious. That's a pretty ambitious jump.
Well, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, look, we had a company that made games like Resogun and a few others, and look, we got Returnal.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying the game was bad or good. I didn't play it. I'm just saying like that's quite the ambition, to jump from a handheld to the most powerful box on the planet right now. So, yeah.
And then my number one honorable mention goes to Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Ooh.
Of course, it's an honorable mention because it's a game that we played for the past 15 years. So
I just re-downloaded that because that's the first game I think I want to play in the new year. I think is that after I finish Guardians and Tales.
As a matter of fact, I'm working on a Boss Rush banner that will feature some of that from the Mass Effect trilogy. Well, the Mass Effect franchise overall. Yeah. But honestly, the Legendary Edition, it would have been higher up there, but there's actually new games that came out this year that actually got to be in my top 5.
To be fair, though, the way they did that first game is just
God.
It's totally different than the original.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
all right. How about you, Corey?
My honorable mentions are, we already mentioned Forza, so I don't want to go into that. Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. It's only an honorable mention because I played it before on the Wii U.
It's a rehash.
Yeah, I don't want to put, that kind of the ports on my list, but it's the best 3D Mario game. It's awesome. I love the way that game feels, the way it plays, the way it looks. I think it's probably my favorite Mario game overall, actually. So it's awesome. Shout out to Monster Hunter Stories 2. A very pretty looking game on the OLED, especially. And a game that I didn't think I was going to be into, but it's actually really awesome and something I want to get back to. I like the characters. I like the interactions. I like the kind of light Pokemon-esque aspects to it. So, cool game. Really want to do more with that. Cyber Shadow, a game that came out early, like real early this year, and kind of, I feel like a lot of people kind of looked over it after its initial launch. It's like it's like a Ninja Gaiden Metroidvania-esque game. And it's really difficult, but it's also really fun. The pixel art's amazing. So it kind of reminds me of The Messenger a little bit. So you should definitely check that out.
It barely missed my honorable mentions. It's a great game.
Shovel Knight Dig just came out a couple days ago, actually. I didn't know if I was going to like it or not. I want a traditional Shovel Knight game. This is a puzzle game with it's positioned as a puzzle game, but there's a lot of other deeper elements to it that I haven't gotten into yet, and that's the reason why.
This isn't Shovel Knight Dungeon, is it?
Yeah, the dungeon
Pocket
game.
Dungeon?
Pocket Dungeon. Yeah. Shovel Knight Dig's next year. Sorry,
Okay,
Pocket Dungeon.
I was like, wait.
I'm sorry. There's too many Shovel Knight games out right now.
Wow.
You know what? I'm sorry. Gosh, I failed.
I knew what
Pocket
you meant, Corey.
Dungeon. Thank you, Austin.
But why didn't you correct him, Austin?
You know what? Just okay. It's fun.
I know what he meant.
I've only played it for about 20 minutes. It's the only reason why it's on this list.
Yeah.
Not higher.
Well, it's supposed to.
I haven't play it yet. But
Anyways.
It's supposed to be an adventure game that's trotted out as a puzzle game.
Yes. That's what I was trying to say. Unsighted is another game that I really, really like. It feels a lot like Crosscode mixed with like Majora's Mask, and you have this timer, and it's kind of like the combat kind of feels like Soulsy, I guess you want to say. It's really cool. I highly suggest you check it out if you like Majora's Mask specifically. It's a top-down 2D game, but it's really, really cool. And then also Death's Door is also on my honorable mentions list for a lot of reasons.
Still need to play it.
Yeah, it would probably be higher if I was further in the game, but yeah, I like how it looks. I like how it feels. I think the combat's fun. I think the art direction is really cool too. So those are my honorable mentions. So I guess we will hit Austin back with his number 5 game of the year.
Yeah. Real quick though, Corey. Shovel Knight Dig. Yeah, that's right. I'll just call it Dig. Are you playing... I heard Colin talk about it, and so I didn't know if you're playing like the turn-based style like he has it set up, or are you playing like the original style?
No, I set it up the way that Colin was describing it, and I like it better.
The turn-based way?
Yeah, I definitely like it better. So
I'm trying to debate on how I want to play it.
Yeah.
This is definitely going to be a game that I'll probably get on Switch just because it'll be great to play before bed.
Yeah, that's where I got it, was Switch. So it's not available on Xbox, by the way. A lot of these games, like if they're not on Game Pass, they're not on Xbox, which is weird to me. So the one game, side tangent.
Well, that's kind of weird because
side tangent, real quick. The one game that I want on Xbox really bad, and it's not there, but it's on Switch and PlayStation 4 and 5, is Oddworld: Stranger's Wrath. It's not on Xbox.
Well, you know where you get it at? You get it on Steam.
No, I bought it on Switch.
Because on Steam, it's $2.50 right now.
The original version, not the HD version.
Yeah.
Why? You know what?
Austin, what's your number 5?
Austin, what's your number 5?
I don't have time for LeRon to say how great his PC Steam store is, okay?
Okay. My number 5 is I wanted to mix it up. I wanted to keep... I had different games I could have put on here, but I wanted to get a good overall spread. And 5 is a game that some people talked about when it first came out. It is a turn-based, but also live-action RPG. It's got dodgeball in it. It is Dodgeball Academia. Let me tell you, Dodgeball Academia is a fucking great game.
Good game.
I love it. It's if you the RPG stuff actually matters in the game. It's not just like you can play on skill, but have fun doing that. Like it's not easy if you just try to do it on your own skill alone. Like your items matter, how you level up your characters matter. There's a good story in it. It's really funny. The gameplay gets a little old because I think it gets a little too long in the story. But I had a lot of fun with it. I think it's a great game. Made in Brazil, which I don't think I've played any other games from Brazil that were like made in Brazil. So I think that's kind of cool as well. So great game. Highly recommend it. It's my number 5.
Cool.
All right.
Stephanie, what's your number 5?
So my number 5 is Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if...
Ooh, that's also my number 5.
Okay, so I'll wait till we get to you so we can talk about it a bit more.
Let's just talk about it now. We'll just have the conversation now.
Yeah.
So, what I think Guardians of the Galaxy does right is, it after the disaster Avengers was, I just feel like this nailed down the music for sure. I personally think that they made the right decision creating characters that were not in the likeness of the actors in the movies. I believe that it was graphically stunning. The story's pretty decent. The gameplay is very fun. The downside is I really wouldn't recommend it on anything other than the most current and best console, because it can get very, very glitchy and look kind of funky. But I just think that they've done a fantastic job with this franchise where I feel like fans of Guardians and those that just aren't fans can both enjoy the game.
Yeah, it's definitely the biggest surprise of the year for me, especially because like I don't really care about the Guardians movies all that much, and I really like the heart that you can feel in this movie or in this game, right? Like the heart in this game just feels like it's there, and I think that's what pushes a lot of it. Also, the character design and the banter and the boss fights are cool. And I don't know, it's a really special game. It's not the best game in the world, but it does a lot right.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely if you can play it on a modern console, I would do that, or PC, I guess. They did patch the Xbox Series S version of the game, by the way, so it does run at 60 frames now, which was my concern when it first came out, and when we were writing the review, which you should check out on bossrush.net, a collaborative review, as they say. But yes, it runs at 60 frames on Series S now also, so I would definitely check it out. It's awesome. I love it. LeRon, what's your number 5 game?
My number 5 game is Monster Hunter Stories 2: Wings of Ruin.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like I'm definitely a fan of the Monster Hunter Stories game series, and this was a very, very strong and solid entry for them. This is only the second game, of course, but honestly, like the storytelling aspect of it, like this is the one thing that Monster Hunter Stories does what Monster Hunter the main series needs to do, and actually has been doing and getting better with. But that's actually telling a story, and the game is just gorgeous, like you said earlier when you mentioned it for honorable mention. Yeah, it's a gorgeous game. And basically, like if you like Pokemon, this is your game. Mm-hmm. If you want a
Pokemon that feels older, I guess you would say. Like it
more mature. Mature.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if mature is the right word. Well, maybe it is. Maybe you're right. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
No. But overall, it's just solid game. Like you learn some things, about like the actual lore of Monster Hunter, but it's from a different perspective because you're not necessarily technically you are hunting monsters, but at the same time you're actually raising monsters as well and stuff like that. And so I'm not giving away any of the story. If you have not picked it up yet, it's on Switch, it's on the PC. You have some opportunities to get the game. Don't pass it up. And on PC you can find some wonderful sales, and the game does not tax your system. So you can play this game on a potato and be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I keep hearing the Pokemon like reference, is it kind of like World of Final Fantasy? Is it like that one? Monster Hunter game?
I couldn't tell you for sure because you know me, I'm not the guy that plays RPGs all the time now.
Okay. Corey, did you play World of Final Fantasy?
No, I did not.
Stephanie, am I the only one?
I think you're the only
Sorry.
one.
Dang.
What is this? Now I got to Google this. World of Final Fantasy.
Yeah, World of Final Fantasy's. It's got the chibi art style, but it's like a Pokemon like Final Fantasy game. It's great. I liked it. Played it on Vita, of course, but it was on other things.
Well, Monster Hunter Stories is anime inspired, but it's not chibi or super deformed characters you're playing with. You're actually playing with characters that look. You're playing with teenage kids that are learning the ways of the world. Behind monsters, and it's got this cute factor because the monster's technically called Monsties, which always makes me cringe every time I hear it.
Monsties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you catching your little monsties?
It's adorable.
Trust me. There's nothing little about these world-ending elder dragons, especially when they do their big-ass attacks in this game.
Yeah.
Yep, that's my number 5, though.
Cool. Austin, what's your number 4?
Number 4, a roguelike game that
Gross.
I was excited for when it was announced. And a roguelike was my number 1 last year, but it's only my number 4 this year. Returnal, a game by Housemarque, who has been making great arcade-like games for the last few years. It's been fantastic, from Resogun to Alien Nation and Dead Nation and the Matterfall and the rest. This one was something special. Now, let me tell you, I was not good at this game. I was terrible at this game. I was frustrated with this game to no end. There was a lot of bugs in this game when it first came out, but it's still so fun to go back to. The gameplay is so addicting. This is like Housemarque is the closest thing that and honestly, I think, and some of it I think is even better, but this is like the Nintendo games on PlayStation, where the gameplay is just rock solid, and that's what they're really good at. And Returnal just takes that to another level. Third person shooting, bullet hell. I mean, there's so many things to dodge and so many things to fire at. You're never bored. Let me tell you, the maps in Returnal is probably the best I've ever seen in a game. The maps make sense, especially when you get games that are 2 or 3 layers of different levels. It gets really confusing what people are trying to say. They clear that all up and said this is how it's, and everyone should look at Returnal's maps and do it just like they do it in this game. I haven't seen anyone do it their way, and I think everyone should. It was perfect. And so, a lot of fun, man. It's a game that I constantly go back to because it's a roguelike that you can just level up and play. It's frustrating as all heck. I still have not beat it, but I love every bit of it that I play. And even though I'm not good at it, I enjoy it nonetheless. So, it is my number 4 because I did not beat it, though. Could be even farther up there, but I suck.
That's okay. Stephanie, what's your number?
I suck
4?
at most games.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, I'm the same way. Number 4, no rhyming intended. For me, it's Death's Door.
Ooh.
It's on the lower half of my top 5 just because I haven't played it, but I just know I'm gonna love it, and I've just heard such amazing things. Jesse on Arsenal X probably did not stop talking about it on that podcast for weeks. And, I've seen gameplay, I know the premise, and again, shocker, it's very Zelda-ish. So I just wanted to get a couple games out the way, and then I think that's going to be my first game I'm going to play in 2022, which again, sounds weird to say since we're talking about Game of the Year for 2021, but I know it made it as a nominee on the Game Awards, and it just there were just a lot of other really great games that I can understand why it beat it out, but I think it deserves some love.
Yeah,
I think the major reason why Death's Door didn't get traction is because it came out a year earlier.
It also came out like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, did I screw it up? Did it come out in 2020?
No.
It came out on Xbox this year.
Yeah.
But I had never heard of it before it came to Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, most people started hearing about it when it started making rounds to the other systems.
Got it.
Just had to ruin
it.
Because
it just came to PS4 last month.
Yeah.
PS4 and backwards compatible on PS5.
Yeah. So I think it's on Switch too also now.
Yes.
Actually, wait, is it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's on everything now.
So.
It's on all the major consoles now. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no excuses, guys.
Yeah. Definitely not.
LeRon, what's your number 4?
All right. So, everybody knows me. Everybody knows I'm the Monster Hunter guy for Boss Rush. And it's sad to say that a Monster Hunter game for the first year is not my number 1 pick. Monster Hunter Rise, number 4.
It's because it's on Switch, guys.
No, that's not it at all. That's honestly not it because on January 12th when the PC version comes out, it's not going to change my outlook. Now maybe when Sunbreak comes out, it might be a different story.
Real defensive, LeRon. Real defensive.
All right, so mainly Monster Hunter Rise is a wonderful game. It is. It's a solid entry into the series and things like that. I've been playing the series since 2004's original Monster Hunter game, and I love the evolution that Monster Hunter has come to with Rise and of course with World and Iceborne. Now, some problems with me for this game is that it seemed like this game was incomplete out the gate. There was things that were lacking from even the most earliest of Monster Hunter games, like the fact that when the game first launched there was a hunter rank cap of 8. That's insane. And what was tragic about this is that it even told you, it even hinted that in the game that you had to wait for something to happen before the hunter rank before you get to the next cap of hunter rank. That was one of the first things. Another problem was that to add on to the game feeling incomplete, it was the fact that you fight the what they tell you is the boss monster, and then come to find out that after 3 series of DLCs for the game, no, here comes the actual boss monster. So it was just one of those weird things. The game is fun. It's great. It has some major improvements on things that were done on previous games, including World and Iceborne, because I feel like Monster Hunter Rise is actually the perfect evolution of Monster Hunter World and Iceborne. The problem is just that it just seemed to be lacking. And beyond that, I'm a person that I sink hundreds of hours into Monster Hunter games and stuff like that. I just did my Nintendo Switch Wrapped, and I only put 144 hours into Rise. So that tells you something right there.
Wow. Only 144 hours.
I'm looking. Well, right now I've got my Steam library open. I have almost 500 hours on Monster Hunter World and Iceborne, and that's on top of these. And that's not to include the 720 some odd hours I had on the PS4 version.
Wow.
So trust me, I dissect these Monster Hunter games when they come out.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess it's my turn now. My number 4 game is Tales of Arise.
Oh, nice.
It's I liked it when I started it. I really liked it. And there's a point in the story that I just got to a week ago where it went from I really like it to I can't wait to see where the story goes and how it finishes, because it's just a phenomenal. I feel like it's one of the best traditional Japanese RPG stories that I've played in a while. and the characters banter back and forth is really well done. I like the relationship that's blossoming between the two protagonists. And yeah, if you like action RPGs, I would definitely check this out. It's so much fun.
I agree with you.
Nice.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. I love it so much. So, Austin, what's your number 3 game?
My number 3 is a game that I finished pretty recently, and I think it's also another controversial game, and it is a roguelike of sorts,
Gross.
but Deathloop. Deathloop is...
Okay.
Wait, how's Deathloop a roguelike?
Isn't that the whole point?
It-
It's a AAA roguelike?
Yeah.
Isn't that like the whole thing? The whole pitch?
I'm gonna give it a very, very iffy roguelike. Yes it is, but really it's not. It's because let's say this, you want to go through this loop without dying, but that is not the end game.
Yeah.
Whereas a roguelike, you want to get to the end and you're going to die a lot and you're going to keep upgrading your character to get to the end of this. Deathloop is more of a like mystery. Every day you're like gathering evidence to try to pull these eight certain people. They call them visionaries in the game. You're trying to get them all in a place where you can kill them all in one day to break this loop. And if you've watched any of the PlayStation showcases, you already know this speech because they give it to you every time. Got a lot of hate for it. It was showing off way too much. But let me tell you, the game is really good. I like it a lot. I like the story. I love Colt and Juliana, the main characters. Colt being the one that you play as, and Juliana being the one that tries to kill you throughout the game. And their banter is hilarious when you find out who they are. It's fantastic. The story is really good between them. The rest of the game is kind of I did enjoy like finding all this like what this world has to offer, but really the Colt and Juliana relationship was the best part. And I think it might be one of the most controversial endings in a game where it's going to leave a lot of people upset or maybe not having the ending that they want. I'm very curious to hear people, if you've played Deathloop, you should definitely message me because I want to talk to people about it, but not very many people have finished it. Not very many people played it. I want to talk to people about it. It's a very interesting game. The gunplay is great. I don't like Dishonored. I don't like arcane games normally, but this one hit because you don't have to do it all stealth. Also, the gunplay is like important. You can go just guns a-blazing in there. You can sneak if you want to. It's not going to be a terrible ending if you don't sneak. Like it's really, really fun. It's a fun sandbox you can play in. I feel like it could have been more expansive, but it was a good game nonetheless. And I really like it. I hope a lot more people give it a good chance. And I'm sure they will when it comes to Game Pass.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a shame. It's worth the money. So
I just looked it up. It's half price on Steam right now, so I think I'm gonna make that commitment now.
Yeah. Cool. Stephanie, what's your number 3?
All right, this goes out to David Lasby. My number 3 is Alien Fireteam Elite.
Ooh.
I never
Okay.
thought a game like this would crack my top 5 ever because it's a multiplayer. Like I'm just not a multiplayer person at all. But
Wait,
now
is it
that
pure,
I do have,
is it pure multiplayer? I haven't played it yet.
I think you can go on your own and have
It's like a Gears of War situation where like you can play it single player and you have squad mates, but then other people can jump in
Yeah.
as those squad mates.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really not that fun with those AI fighting with you and running in front of me and stuff like that. But once you have friends to play with, it's actually great. I love how it was made from a smaller studio, right? And I want to give them credit for being able to produce a game tied to the Alien series and making the multiplayer very, very fun. So, it took me by surprise, so it's there.
Still need to play with you guys. It's downloaded.
Yep.
Sitting here on my box.
Yep, same.
I could have played last night, but I fell asleep. I didn't have my Red Bull.
I saw you guys looking for a team, and I was way too tired last night.
Let's see what happened last night. What did I do? Oh, I was watching Ghostbusters last night. I was doing homework. So, LeRon, what's your number 3?
My number three is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Ooh.
I was such a big cheerleader for this game. Like I was really like devastated that it didn't win a single award that it was nominated for at the Game Awards, and then here I am giving it number 3. I love this game. I'm with Austin though. It's not the best Ratchet and Clank game, but what I will say for sure is like it definitely is one of the games you want to get to show off the power of the PS5. That is the truth. Like other games that go into that category would be Spider-Man Miles Morales. That definitely shows up. That's another game that shows up what the PS5 can do, as well as Returnal. But Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, it's a wonderful game. I have enjoyed playing what I have. I have not beaten it yet. I'm very close to the end, but I have not beaten it yet.
Oh, really?
The characters, I love them. I'm one of those people. I basically call it failure to launch syndrome, where basically like I know when I'm coming to the end of a game, and I'm like I don't want this to end, so I just kind of like just stop. I do. It took me so long to beat like the 2018 Spider-Man, the 2018 God of War for those reasons. It's like, man, I'm having too much fun. Like I actually stalled on Spider-Man. I was like, man, I can go clear all the optional stuff. I swing around New York City, knowing like Doc Ock is like laying waste to Manhattan.
By the way, LeRon, the more I think about the game, the more that I love Rivet. I feel like Rivet, like I've grown to love Rivet even more months after playing that game. I'm like, man, Rivet is great.
I pray that future Ratchet and Clank games somehow find a way to bring her back.
I hope there's a co-op mode. I hope you could play as Ratchet and Rivet. That'd be so much fun to play.
Yeah, I pray for that. The game was fun, but I love the story. The story was just it grabs you. Like that's all I can say about it. Yeah.
Wait till you play the ending though.
Oh,
bummer ending, man. Everyone dies. It's great.
I bet. Yeah, so Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. That's my number 3. Like it's one of PS5's best tech demos for 2021. I will say that. The game is gorgeous. The game is beautiful. There's a reason why it was in so many categories. The Game Awards this year. It was in best art design. It was in best action game. It was Game of the Year nominee. It was in another category that I forget what it was. But yeah. Shoot. Like. Oh, and it just won number 1 for the PlayStation for the PlayStation Fan Awards. So on PlayStation Blog, it got Game of the Year on that. So there's something, people loved it enough.
Cool. Well, my number 3, which I really want to let the people who really love this game talk about it, but Metroid Dread is my number 3 game of the year. I really loved Samus's design. I really love the art direction. I love the boss design. I like how it challenged me in a way that I'm not used to in games because I don't really play Metroidvanias a whole lot. And it's a game I still need to finish, of course, but it's a cool experience, and I am really glad that this game exists. And I really want more 2D Metroid to exist after this. Which it seems like it will, because I think they just passed 3 million copies sold or something like that to that extent.
That's a big deal for a Metroid game.
I know. I gotta look these sales up.
Is that the most for a Metroid game?
No, Metroid. I've heard Metroid Dread has already outsold every other Metroid game in the series. So
every other classic Metroid game.
Yeah.
Like,
So not
two
Prime.
Metroid.
Metroid Dread, Metroid Dread has sold more than all the other all the other classic Metroid titles combined.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's insane, because you would think like Zero Mission, Metroid Fusion, and definitely like maybe not.
I lied. It's sold over 5 million units already.
I thought it was 5 million. I thought 3 million seemed a little too low. But but to think, like, it sold more, and and when we think about like games like Metroid Zero Mission, which was basically a remake / remaster of the original Metroid game. Fusion was a direct sequel to Super Metroid. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show, like I don't know, Japan doesn't love Metroid as much as we love Metroid.
Yeah.
But Corey, for real though, like I'm happy to hear like that Metroid like hit a top 5 list for you. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I loved it. It, like, if I would have finished it and like a couple, like if these other 2 games that are on my list wouldn't have come out this year, it definitely would have blown everything else out of the water for sure. So, all right, Austin, what's your number 2 game? We've got a few minutes left.
My number 2 is Chicory, the coloring book come to life game. Incredible story. I love the characters. You're gonna go through this whole world. Everything's interesting. You're gonna grow relationships with all these different characters, all named after food, which is great. You get to name your character after food as well. I named mine Soup. So, it's a wonderful game. It's it's all about self-discovery and all this stuff. But I had a really good time with it. I'm glad that they have an easy mode though, because one of the boss fights really crossed my eyes. Like, it really messed with my eyes bad. I was because your right stick controls your left arrow, your left stick controls your right arrow, and they're also in reverse mode versus axis. So that whole thing messed me up really bad. It made the boss fight really hard. But other than that, it's pretty easy, pretty tame. But you have a lot of fun just like finding collectibles. The music is really, really good. I never got tired of hearing the music. It was something that I would even I would color it and then just kind of leave the TV on and let the music play as like different colors were showing up. So it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend Chicory, and shout out to the team over there. So
cool. Stephanie, what's your number 2 game?
My number 2 was The Medium. I won't go into too much because LeRon mentioned his honorable mentions. It's number 2 for me because it's one of the first horror games that I've ever played. The other one being Soma, because I'm a wimp, like the biggest wimp on the planet, and don't like horror games. But I just loved it because of its unique split screen, which initially made me like all crazy-eyed for a while. But I love the game mechanics. I love the story. Everything about it. That freaking maw that would chase you, and it's really funny. You know who the voice acted the maw? Who's that? Who's the really famous video game voice actor? Also played Joel in.
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, just overall an excellent story. Super sad. I love that kind of psychological horror, and the very end just left at such a cliffhanger that would leave it open for a sequel. And if there is one, I'm very much looking forward to it. So.
Nice.
I definitely want to check that game out.
Nice. Yeah. LeRon, what's your number 2 game of the year?
Well, my number 2 game of the year just
I'm so
happened
confused. LeRon's list is such a mystery now that both Monster Hunter games have already been used up for 2 slots.
My number 2 game of the year just happens to be the game that swept the entire indie category at Game Awards this year, and that's Kena: Bridge of Spirits.
Nice.
Right.
I really cannot say enough about this game. This game is an amazing game. Like, this is a first game from a brand new studio, a brand new indie studio and stuff like that. And I'm not sure if they had PlayStation money behind it or whatnot, but I mean, this is an indie title that looks like a AAA title. Like, I mean, damn, like these guys, I would trust these guys to make Horizon Zero Dawn like the next sequel to that or something like that. I would trust these guys to make a sequel, and that's saying a lot because Kana did have some issues. I mean, there were some issues, but like a lot of it was forgivable to the point where like the game itself still managed to shine. It's a beautiful game. It's a beautiful game. It looks like a DreamWorks. It looks like it could be a DreamWorks movie. I really can't say it's got that cutesy factor, but it's a down and serious like actual action title and things like that, and it's just amazing. Wonderful color palette. You'll love the main character, Kana herself. It's good. I just can't say enough about it. Like, guys, pick this game up. It's on PlayStation. It's on PlayStation 5. It's on the PC. Like, get the game.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I really want to play it at some point. I'm hoping it comes to Xbox at some point in the near future. Mostly because I don't want to drop $500 on another box, and they probably won't be easy to find anytime soon anyway. So, Well,
that's the wonderful world we live in right now. Like, a lot of times these games aren't just stuck on one console because they're on the PC also. Like, I mean...
This guy's still pushing PC. We're like an hour and a half into this episode, and he's pushing that PC. All right, so my number 2 game... If you would have asked me this question, like, last week, it might have been my number 1. But... Outriders is my number 2 game. I was
wondering when that game was going to get mentioned.
That game is so stupid, but it's also so fun, and like
it's so much fun.
It doesn't take itself too seriously, but like the way it doesn't take itself seriously makes you care about everybody even more. Like the world that they're building and like just the dumb things that are happening in it. And like if it's Gears of War with superpowers is what it is. Like, weapons feel great, picking up one of the legendary weapons or the epic weapons and just like annihilating characters with it. It's just, God, that game is so good. And like up until the last minute, I was swapping this with my 1 and 2 games. Like, I was swapping it until this segment started. I'm like, you just got to keep it. Just got to go.
I can't wait to find out.
Oh man, Outriders!
I already know what his number 1 game is.
Outriders is so good. I can't say enough good things. It's on Game Pass. Again, a game that I probably wouldn't have checked out unless it was on Game Pass, and it came to Game Pass day 1, and I fell in love almost instantly. Even though the demo they put out for that game was extremely terrible.
I'm glad I didn't play that demo.
Yeah.
I feel like it might have messed me
demo is just that entire opening scene is all the demo is. And it was just bad. And then, man, Outriders, number 2 game. Awesome. Yeah. If you are a Gears of War fan or even a Borderlands fan, I would say to that extent, like,
yeah,
that's what it feels like Gears mixed with Borderlands, but not as like jokey as Borderlands.
No, it's not jokey as Borderlands.
So,
yeah, Gears of War definitely, and
which
I am 100 agree. It's a fun game. I platinumed the game. I love doing everything in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a cool game. Austin, what's your game of the year?
Game of the year. I really thought maybe this is recency bias because this is the newest game that I beat. But I love this game so much from start to finish. I'm a new fan of the series, but this is a really good game. And in a year where I felt like a lot of games were good, but nothing was really perfect, this one I feel like stood out to me as being the most perfect, and that's Resident Evil Village. Really, really good game. It's only 10 hours, but the 10 hours is really jam-packed. There's like one area where it's kind of like meh, but I was so intrigued by everything that I just played and what I'm about to get to that I was all in. and I loved it. I loved playing it a lot. I loved Ethan's story. I loved all the things that happened in the game. Very, very, very good game. Not scary. Really not that scary at all, except for maybe one area that a lot of people talk about.
The well or something?
Spoil.
The baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spoilers.
The baby. Spoilers, the baby.
Babies are always scary in horror anything, okay? And kids. Anybody
Well-
younger than the age of like 10 is just scary.
Well, there's the baby, and then there's whatever this baby is, and this baby is a lot scarier than just regular babies. So, but it's a good game nonetheless. It's really good. I think it is my game of the year. We'll see. There's a lot of games I haven't played yet, like Guardians and Far Cry, and we'll see. But right now, I think Resident Evil Village is my game of the year.
Cool.
Nice.
Stephanie, what's
Pick.
yours?
My game of the year is Metroid Dread.
Ooh.
I have never played a Metroid game before. And so I think this game does a great job, catering to existing fans of the franchise, but also bringing in new fans. And I'm officially a new fan. And I'm also generally not a fan of a 2D game. And I love it. The visuals were perfect. This is even before I got the OLED. It was so teeth-grindingly hard because, again, I suck at video games. But for some reason, even though I would get very frustrated, I still... I never wanted to give up. I always wanted to go back to it, try again. Hey, I can't beat that boss after dying 50 times. I'll put it down, try again tomorrow. Maybe I'll beat it after 24 times. And I know it was kind of relatively late on the story, but it was, like I said, it was great for someone like me that was kind of easing into it. I don't want to repeat too much of what's already been said before, but I just think it's very, very solid. And at least if I'm strictly speaking Nintendo, I think that's probably definitely, in my opinion, the strongest game they came out this year. I know maybe not, it might hit up some competition with, Sony or Xbox games, but just personally for me, it's Metroid Dread for 2021.
Cool. LeRon, I'm assuming it's the same.
Yes, Metroid Dread is my game of the year. I am a long-standing Metroid fan. I want to say Metroid. The original Metroid was the second game I played for the NES ever. So yeah, and I'm a sci-fi nut and everything, and just I've followed Samus Aran's story, from start to finish, and kind of the in between stuff, Metroid Prime and all that stuff. But Metroid Dread, Jesus Christ. I wrote a review for this game. You guys should definitely check it out because basically Metroid Dread. If this is the end of the original Samus Aran storyline, it goes out with a bang. It ties up it completely because most people only glean her origin off of what was inside the little instruction booklet for the original Metroid game, and then they piece things together from all these other games. This game basically tells you what's up with her history, breaks down everything about her history with the Metroid, with the X parasites, the Chozo, everything. And there's even some surprises in there. But rule number one, the biggest surprise for me was the fact that we actually got Metroid Dread, because I was sitting down watching it was the Clubhouse for E3, and I was like, they're gonna show us something from Metroid Prime 4, and then they completely shocked us by saying, it's a brand new 2D Metroid game from the original, 2.5D, but from the original, and I was like, man, I cannot wait. So it was one of those games. As soon as it was available for pre-order, I slapped my money down for it because I was getting it. I'm a Metroid fan. I packed it up. I packed it up, but not only did I get an actual a digital copy of the game, but I also bought a collector's edition. So yeah, I'm helping. I helped to get those 5 million copies.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, Metroid Dread it's a special game, I feel like. So
there was magic to be had, yeah. And the game is hard. It is hard, but actually, I think every Metroid game is hard. this is now modern day hard, which is awesome actually, because because if you go back and play some of those old Metroid games, like you can breeze through those games. Like I mean, like people speed run like Metroid Zero Mission in like under 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
People speed run Super Metroid in just over 2 hours. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
I was really surprised how better I've gotten at games, because I remember struggling as a kid playing Super Metroid, and now I played Super Metroid again this year, and I was like, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought it was.
the number one thing I love about Metroid Dread, and this is actually no, I'm not gonna say this is the first game, because Metroid Samus Returns for 3DS also had this. There was no more floaty controls with Samus. Like when she jumped like a regular person. It wasn't like she was like in 0G the whole time, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the game felt more grounded in physics, even though like the chick like turns herself into a ball and crawls in like small spaces and stuff, But still, like the game felt like it was grounded in physics, It was no more of this weird physics, that Metroid has been known for having. It was I gotta say this is the game that actually knocked Super Metroid off the pedestal as my number one Metroid game. This is the game that did it.
Mm-hmm. And to Stephanie's point, like where I'm not really a big 2D game person either, but like it felt like it almost felt like a forced perspective 3D game. And it just didn't really feel like a 2D game, even though it was. Maybe it was like the dynamic camera angles when you're fighting specific bosses or something, but like definitely.
And that's the other thing too. Like there's actually like the whole like parry system with the bosses, and you wind up getting a different cinematic to fight the bosses, versus just straight up in like the 2D camera angles, like doing it. Yeah. I loved it. That it deserved number one for me. So that's
fair. So my number one game, which wasn't actually even this high on my list until a specific point in the story, and it just like changed the whole perspective of the game for me, is Halo Infinite.
I knew it.
The campaign, I'm not even like a huge Halo guy. Like I like Halo a lot. Like I think it's great. If I'm gonna pick a franchise for Xbox, it's gonna be Gears. But there's a specific point in the story. I'm not gonna spoil it because it's actually very important to the future of Halo as a whole, I think. Where the character known as the Weapon starts to realize her purpose in the game, and you start to feel the emotional connection that you felt with Cortana probably partway through that original Halo game, and especially into 2 and 3 and onward. And that was the turning point where I just felt like Halo's storytelling, although it's not always the best, but this was like a pivotal moment for 343. And since they've been developing Halo, like not everybody loves their Halo games. I really loved Halo 4, and Halo 5 was like Halo 5. But it's Halo Infinite's campaign, the story is definitely something worth playing, especially if you played the original 3 games and kind of know what happened in the other 2 games. Like, has a lot of nostalgia mixed with a lot of new and a lot of looking towards the future. They really threaded the needle of nostalgia, like hitting the nostalgia while actually making their footprint into what Halo's going to be into the future. And it's a very awesome moment when you see that. So, also Master Chief has a really nice moment with her as she's realizing what's happening, and it's really nice. So, I mean, Chief's not always the most emotionally connected person, you'd say, but he's always been emotionally invested in Cortana. And like when you see him with the weapon be sort of the same way or starting to feel the same way. It's cool. So Halo Infinite is my personal game of the year, and I'm quite shocked that it's my game of the year. So yeah.
I knew it was going to be your game of the year. I knew it.
It was, dude, I'm telling you, up until like 3 or 4 days ago, it was Outriders. Like, without a doubt, Outriders. So, look, if Outriders just had an emotional connection with me, it would have just taken over.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that for Outriders. Outriders does not give you that.
But that's it. Game of the year discussion over. Heading into 2022.
Did it.
Yeah. Very excited.
It's going to be a stacked year next year.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's a good thing I got a new job this year because my wallet is already crying. So, thank God for Game Pass.
What's the first game you're buying 2022?
Oh, God.
Mine's Horizon. If it comes out in February.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Horizon, I don't have a PlayStation, so Horizon is out for me.
I already told you guys the first game I'm buying. This is Monster Hunter Rise for PC.
Well, doesn't count.
Oh, it doesn't
First
count?
new game. First new game, LeBron.
First new game? It probably would be Horizon unless something sneaks in first.
Let's see. What's coming out?
I know Pokemon's the only thing before it that I can think of.
Yeah,
like
I would say my first new game will probably be Pokemon Arceus. I haven't played a Pokemon game in a while, but I need to see this Breath of the Wild-y type thing and how they apply it. I wonder if they'll pull it off.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they do because I feel like it's the first step into the direction that people really want to see.
Actually, let's see.
I mean, the first game I'm probably gonna buy. Well, I already bought it. Actually, is Destiny 2: The Witch Queen.
Well, the first new game that's slated for January. The first new game that's like a heavy hitter is Rainbow Six Extraction.
Yeah.
That's set for January 20th because we got Monster Hunter Rise on the 12th, which is basically like the PC release for Monster Hunter Rise, and we got God of War coming on the 14th to PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think the first. Oh, go ahead, LeRon. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, and then I was going to say, then we got Pokemon Legends Arceus on the 28th, as well as Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection, which that's definitely going into my collection.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first game I think the first like new game I'm probably gonna buy is Triangle Strategy in March.
Which is March. That's right.
And
I probably will get that too.
And then like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands has piqued my interest, even though I'm not like a Borderlands guy. Like I think that seems interesting, like a Borderlands style game that's not as stupid as Borderlands in a kind of like a. I mean, even though this is, I know, but like I feel like the Tiny Tina expansion has always been talked about as like on like a different level than Borderlands itself. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I will say though that Tiny Tina's DLC is even more stupid than Borderlands.
It's a one shot right now. They released it as a one shot. You can play it by itself for $5 right now on Xbox and PlayStation.
It's great.
So
it's fantastic.
So
I can't wait. Cannot wait.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap this episode of the Boss Rush Podcast. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to this here episode. You can follow us on Twitter at Boss Rush Network. You can email the show at bossrushnetwork@gmail.com. Join our Discord. Join our Facebook group if you want to hang out with some cool people. Austin, thank you for joining us tonight. Where can we find you?
Yeah. Find me at PlaySaustin on Twitter and Discord. See my Foxy Grandpa profile picture
wow.
on.
Stephanie, where can we find you?
At Klimov, KLIMOV_author on Twitter. I want to reiterate, join us on Discord. If you have any questions, ask them, and we'd be happy to discuss it and read it out here on the show.
Yeah. I think what I want to do, just because you said questions, I think what I want to do is start aiming questions towards like a topic that we're going to have on the show that week. And then, so,
Yeah.
LeRon, where do we find you?
You can find me everywhere. Exodus 803, EXODUS 803 on social media, on Twitch and YouTube. That's my gamer tag. And do not forget, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, twitch.tv/Exodus803 for Crossroads PlayStation Podcast with myself, Mr. Austin Campbell here, as well as Chris True and Nelly Lott. We're off until the beginning of the new year, so we will see you then.
Cool.
Yeah.
You can find me at I am Corey HD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me hosting Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on the Boss Rush Network. Also, upcoming shows that you will want to look out for. Standard Definition, After Dark. Check those out. Feeds are live. Subscribe now, and you'll get your free feed sometime down the road. Or we are launching Patreon on January 3rd. You can get those shows 2 weeks early on patreon.com/Boss Rush Network. So,
Yeah.
LeRon and I are working on a trailer for that. So, definitely, we didn't really tell you about it. Sorry. We were going to tell you
thanks.
eventually.
Yeah, I got to put sleeves on for this one.
Oh.
So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye. Happy New Year.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Christmas.
Take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
And each other.